All right, let's talk about AI. We're living in this incredible moment, right? The things these systems can create, it's just mind-blowing. But here's the thing. They're all built on one single foundation: guessing. They predict, they approximate, they hallucinate. What we're talking about today is a huge shift away from that world of maybe and into a world of for sure. From an AI that guesses to one that actually knows. And it all kicks off with one really powerful question.
Really think about what this means for a second. What if we could build an intelligence that doesn't just repeat patterns it's seen before, but actually understands the meaning behind everything? An AI that can reason, not just recognize. An AI that could explain its thinking with perfect clarity because it's not dealing in probabilities, it's dealing with facts that you can verify. That's the challenge, and honestly, the incredible opportunity we're looking at.
And this, right here, this slide lays out the two worlds perfectly. Over on the left, that's the AI we have today. It's probabilistic, which is really just a fancy way of saying it's a very, very sophisticated guessing game. It's an approximation, it's a black box, and that's what leads to those infamous hallucinations. But on the right, that's a whole different ballgame. It's deterministic, it's built on certainty, it's a glass box. It's the difference between a weather forecast, which is a really good guess, and a mathematical proof, which is an absolute certainty.
So let's get right into the heart of the problem. Because yeah, what generative AI does is incredible. It can write poetry, create amazing art, it can even write code. But all of it, every single bit, is built on this shaky foundation. Under the hood, the entire universe is made of approximation. And, well, that foundation is really starting to show some cracks.
This shows you perfectly how that shakiness just builds up. It's not one single flaw. It's that with every step, another layer of fog rolls in. See, you start with a sample of data, which is already just an approximation of all knowledge. Then you compress that into patterns. Then you might even add more guessed context on top of that. So by the time you actually get an answer, you're looking at a guess that's built on top of a guess that's built on top of another guess. That is why these systems hallucinate. That's why they feel like these mysterious black boxes.
So what's the industry's big idea to fix this fog of uncertainty? Well, for now, it's pretty much just to build a bigger shovel. Just throw more data at it, more computing power, make the models bigger and bigger. It's kind of like trying to find buried treasure by just digging frantically all over the beach. Sure, you're moving more sand, but you're still just digging blind. This brute force method can shrink the guesswork, but it can never, ever get rid of it.
So if the bigger shovel isn't the answer, then what is? Well, it turns out we don't need a bigger shovel at all. We need a completely different tool. We need a treasure map. And that brings us to the solution, a treasure map for knowledge, powered by this revolutionary idea called the semiotic web. So let's build on that. Forget the bigger shovel. Just imagine having an actual treasure map. No more random digging. This is about having a cognitive compass for knowledge, something that points you directly to the truth every single time. It's not about guessing where the treasure might be. It's about following a precise, reliable guide straight to it. A guide that's built on a foundation of verifiable facts, not a sea of probabilities.
I love this analogy because it makes the difference so clear you can almost taste it. Current AI is like tasting an incredible cake and trying to figure out the recipe. You get close, you can taste the cinnamon, maybe a hint of vanilla, but you'll never know for sure the exact measurements. With the semiotic web, you don't have to guess. You have the exact recipe right in your hands. Every ingredient listed, perfectly measured, and completely traceable.
And here's the science that makes that perfect recipe possible. On the left, that's today's AI. See that little squiggly equals sign? That means the output is only approximately the sum of its parts. It's a plausible guess. But the semiotic web uses something called canonical construction. Now look to the right. See that hard, real equals sign? The output is the sum of its parts. It's not just plausible, it's provably true. That's the difference between a good estimate and a precise calculation. So how in the world do you build a system that's provable? Well, it all comes down to this one fundamental building block, the tokum. A tokum is the most basic piece of the puzzle, a tiny, atomic, verifiable unit of meaning. You can think of it like the semantic DNA of knowledge. Every single concept, from a cat to the theory of relativity, gets its own unique, unbreakable, cryptographic identity. And because every token is unique, you can trace the origin of every single piece of information, guaranteeing it's accurate and reliable.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second, because these little building blocks aren't just some abstract idea.
They are the actual foundation for a completely new kind of internet. One built not on linking pages, but on creating a shared, verifiable understanding of the world itself.
And this right here, this is the blueprint for that future. It's not just one product, it's an entire ecosystem that is designed from the ground up to run on trust. We're talking about everything from personal digital twins that can perfectly remember your life to super secure knowledge systems for companies, all powered by this semiotic web. This is a new digital world, one where information isn't just available, but is also reliable and verifiably true.
Let's break this down real quick. First, you've got the CCC, a universal library of verified knowledge. So imagine a Wikipedia that's always accurate. Then there's the SSS for companies, a secure private brain where every piece of data is provable. Think of it as a corporate knowledge base you can actually, finally trust. For you, there's the PPP, your own personal digital twin, with a perfect memory that you own and you control. And finally, there's the MMM, a marketplace that rewards human expertise and connects it to this global web of meaning.
So, when you put it all together, what we're really looking at here isn't just a slightly better AI. No way. This is about fundamentally redefining what's even possible. It's about building a future on a foundation of certainty.
You know, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this right here. The shift we're talking about is moving from a chaotic, messy web of pages to a structured, understandable web of meaning. It's the difference between a library where all the books are just thrown in a giant pile and a library with a perfect card catalog that gives you a map to find exactly what you're looking for instantly.
And that's the big question I want to leave you with. I mean, the possibilities here are just staggering. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? What could you build? What diseases could you cure? What huge problems could you solve if the digital world wasn't built on a foundation of guesses, but on absolute provable certainty? Seriously, what could we all achieve? The future of AI isn't about building a better guessing machine. It's about building a knowing machine, and that changes everything.